Here's an inside look at Treat Med Spa, where a 3D scan matches your face, analyzes sun damage, and tracks lift before treatments begin.
So you're gonna lean forward and your eyes are gonna be like in that little bucket there. And you're gonna keep coming a little bit more forward and I'll tell you when. Okay, right there's actually pretty good. And then you're gonna close your eyes for me. Perfect. Review some stuff.
Awesome. I'm excited.
It has all these different tools, and then it also has some skin analysis.
Okay.
One of these tools, or one of these we love, is the measurement tool. This is really handy because when clients are coming in and they're getting like skin tightening treatments in particular done with us, then we can really look and kind of see the change in their skin.
Yeah.
So what we'll tend to see, like for example, if we do soft wave on them, is that usually these numbers will actually, the lower face, these numbers will go down, and these numbers will go up as the lift is kind of occurring and the skin is lifting upward. So that's been really neat to show patients because obviously they're investing a lot of money, and as you know, into these treatments, and they want to see results. But at the same point, we're going into this like era of this sort of undetectable, beauty.
Yeah.
Which I personally love. At the same point, it could be harder to show the nuances of certain treatments. So what I love about Aura is, a few things, because it does this full 3D, mapping of the face and neck, but also the way that it is like on a black background, for example, it makes it a lot, easier to be able to see those nuances and changes and really show patients the change in their skin. This one's also really helpful too. This is the angles feature, and so you can kind of look and see in terms of, if one side may be stronger than the other, more lifted, more full. This is also really helpful for injectables when patients do want to go that route, because we can kind of look at more of these minute, and now we're into like facial, rebalancing, so we can like make these tiny little changes. And then I'll show you a few fun things in through here. Okay. So this is the skin analysis. So it's picking up that you're a skin type 4. I mean, again, this is just going on how it's viewing you, not any, genetics or anything like that, but Fitzpatrick 4. And then we're gonna get into a couple of fun things in here where it's gonna show just like little things like lines, wrinkles, texture, sun damage, redness, and pores. And then this is your little scorecard over here. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the best, being green, and then red being more areas of concern, it's going to give you a rating, and you can see it actually will break it down into different quadrants between like the face, the cheeks, the neck, which is neat. And but you can see here, very good. You can obviously tell you've been taking good care of your skin. Thank you. And very little lines and wrinkles that you can see here. And we're gonna get into texture, which actually a very good texture as well. Nice. And so you can kind of see here again with our little scorecard, you're in the green. And you can kind of see, I mean, it's very minimal, so you're super fortunate. Just little tiny areas where it's picking up on, texture. Then we're gonna get into sun damage. Okay. So sun damage, this one is, I think, really helpful because a lot of times it's kind of hard to see, everything that's underneath the skin. And so you can see here, again, we're in the green, some getting to the yellow, so a little more on the forehead, which is normal, around the nose, and then the mouth. You can kind of see where there's a little bit more. This can also be hormonal pigmentation though too, which is common for women, so it will obviously pick up on that also. Then we'll get into redness. Well, you have no redness, which is so good. And this will typically just pick up on anywhere there's sometimes like bacteria or little areas of like redness and inflammation, which is really common. And then pore size. So this is just picking up on pores. Again, you're still in this green, a little bit more, a large pores like in the nose, super normal. Nothing to be concerned about. But and then I'll show you, this is a fun feature that they just rolled out. So this is a simulation feature. And I would say probably more applicable to like if, someone's doing fillers. So for example, I mean, you have beautiful lips, so this would not be applicable to you. But say with a patient that came in, they're like, oh, I just want to try on like, what would more lip filler look like? You also, I mean, you could go the other way. We could like, we could
volumize it.
We could, exactly. You could kind of, or patients wanting to solve. I think what's kind of neat too is sometimes we will have patients, and I don't really see this with you, but like, say they had some sort of, a little asymmetry, and they wanted to kind of bring that out. They could kind of like work on one little area, and we could kind of show them like, okay, what if we just inject this little area there, which is kind of neat. And like, maybe show a little bit more of like my chin. What would that look like? So just really, really neat and kind of play around with that.
That is actually freaking cool.
Isn't that cool?
Literally so cool.
So she has melasma, and we did a peel on her.
Okay.
And we pull her side-by-side report. We can see that her numbers went down.
Down, exactly.
Isn't that cool?
Now that's very, very cool.
And you can see here too that it's lifted kind of like underneath the skin. And so this has been such a great tool to show people that we can really track
What's really
the
going
results.
on. Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, not only can I see that, her just that her, that her skin improved.
Yeah.
But I can also just see, oops, I'm looking at all these things here, maybe here. But I can also just see that it actually picked up on the reduction.
Exactly.
So that's what's very satisfying.